Comedians are weird people. I don't think it's a good idea to put too much stock into the opinions or character of any public figure, whether they be an actor, musician, politician, or whatever Elon Musk is. But comedians, maybe due to their ability to laugh at the void, maybe due to something in them not being quite right, or maybe by an inherent belief that laughter can cure what is wrong, seem to approach life and politics with a general ideology I can actually believe in. As such, there is one comedian I generally trust, one who isn't just funny, but showcases how to be empathetic and sharp and decent at the same time. There is one that I think, contrary to what some may say, is still great. Jon Stewart took over as host of The Daily Show in 1999, but his comedy career before then painted the picture of an intelligent guy, a guy who cared about politics, a guy who had a message to send, but didn't necessarily have the right format to do it in. The Daily Show, as he found it, shout out to my second favorite, Craig late night host, had just enough for him to build his own format on top of. Fueled by the ideologies of structured comedy from George Carlin, the vomit draft, the serious structured way to approach silly comedy and to make it mean something, to unravel the bullshit and lay bare the truth, is still evident in his work to this day, as recently as Stewart's interview with Attorney General of Arizona, Leslie Rutledge. As I write this, it's November 2nd, 2022. I just did early voting in the midterms, and make no mistake, the weeks ahead are not gonna be pleasant no matter how the votes go. But I don't look to the midterms with despair. There will simply be incompetence or outright hypocrisy to confront and to laugh at, and there will be examples of good to draw hope from. Jon Stewart's better moments exemplify all of that, from calling out misleading financial talking points from Jim Cramer, or exposing Bill O'Reilly's blowhard attitude, or his confrontation of Judith Miller's faulty reporting. It's all done with an impassioned but controlled speech. Even when he's angry, there is a sense of control, of taking the silliness seriously as a privilege. That's what he called it when he was one of the first shows to go back to broadcasting in New York after 9/11, and delivered a speech that still cuts straight through despair and cynicism and fear and leaves something more tolerable in its place. Jon Stewart taught me that it is reasonable and normal to feel rage and disappointment in the news, especially how it's delivered, and even more especially how narratives are peddled to stoke the worst tendencies in us and our fellow countrymen. And yet, from The Daily Show's beginnings in 2003 when I was 7, to the start of the Obama administration coverage when I was 12, to after the 2012 election when I was 16, to the end of his Daily Show tenure when I was 19, to his new show now in 2022, he never fell into easy cynicism. Jon Stewart is funny and a decent person, and that's where he'd like the compliments to stop, please, and they should, though between Zelensky as a politician and Stewart as a political advocate, the bar is being raised. Speaking of advocacy, I want to close by pointing to this picture. It was taken by Bill Clark on July 23rd, 2019, and for context, the Senate was about to pass a bill to ensure a fund to compensate the heroic first responders and victims of the 9/11 attacks, ensuring they never have to return to Congress to plead for care again. After years of stalling on the bill, Mitch McConnell, after Stewart and others drew public attention to the cruelty and callousness of Congress on this issue, forlornly walks by the Ohio clock corridor into the Capitol, forced to vote in support of those heroes. And there is Jon Stewart. This picture to me symbolizes why Jon Stewart is great. Very normal clothes in a very fancy place, respectfully, disrespectfully, tiredly, smiling. Because despair comes for us all, but it's an easy, incorrect answer. Hope, like the carefully constructed comedy of Stewart's work, takes time and effort. Jon Stewart taught me a lot of swear words as a child, and I am thankful. But over his career, he has also taught me how to act decently while speaking indecently and honestly. That's why, to me, Jon Stewart is still fucking great.
And thank you very much for all
It's
the
been great
wonderful
to know you a little, and you are going to show us a lot, and I look forward to it.
Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you.
I appreciate it. George Carlin, ladies and gentlemen.